Welcome back to my very serious review of the Creator Series. Round 4 takes us to Lime Rock Park with the fabled Formula Ford car. This is the first time since the first round of the championship we've actually been entrusted with an open wheeler, and thankfully for the spectators, we don't have any wings to share off like we did back at Monza. Weather conditions predicted intermittent rain throughout the event, which brought many of our computers to our knees. Even Strasner told me he had a 5090 and he was struggling. So begrudgingly, I turned down some of my settings for smoothness at iRacing's test bed for the latest and greatest in internet car racing graphics. In a confounding decision, the Creator Series in their infinite wisdom felt necessary that the chicane version be run, but when chicaneless in Monza. The difference in philosophy of chicanes between Monza and Lime Rock naturally differ. Lime Rock chicanes prevent the car from leaving the asphalt, while Monza chicanes prevent the cars from flying into the stands. The final corner in particular was tricky, even in lightly wet conditions, as were the sections due to the Formula Ford's compromise in an all-weather tire, of which Ford and a tire manufacturer have always been free of congressional inquiry. And now, presented without comment or shame, a nice, relaxing Formula Ford crash compilation. Quali began with a mad dash out of the pits. Maybe everyone just found out that plinths are actually paid out for qualifying positions. But it turns out, they just knew it was going to rain, which effectively ended my qualifying and cost me a ton of points starting in the mid-pack. 24 cars took to the grid, and while the rain had stopped, the session was still considered a wet session. Here's me trying my best mid-2000s Fernando Alonso impression to heat my tires. There's more I could have done, but then I'd be eminently qualified to run him past. Unsurprisingly, Kamikaze was on pole, and was followed by Aiden Polt in turn 1 at the race start. I've watched my fair share of Australian Formula 4 crash compilations to know that any wheel-to-wheel contact likely sends you cartwheeling across the circuit, and my competitors must have watched them too, and we decided to tiptoe around the first lap for fear of an errant puddle giving us free gymnastics lessons. Here at the chicane, there was not a single free gymnastic lesson handed out, but then... By all accounts, these incidents were relatively tame and did not prompt a safety car because Ford is a better idea. They didn't actually put the Ford name on these cars, they're just called the Ray FF1600. So due to trademark laws and intellectual property, this is just a Ray crash compilation, which is unfortunate for anyone with the name Ray. Sparks running in P3 got loose off the final corner, but was able to keep it out of the barrier.
Where are you going, Ben? I don't want to talk about it.
Still not sure how we had a car mount another car on lap 1 and the unsafety car went, nah, so you guys are fine.
Lap 1, lap race! Yeah, it's lap 1, you're on a driving. Oh my goodness! That's a massive accident.
By our rules, this incident did not bring out the safety car, and neither did this one. An unfortunate move by teammate Marduk into the chicane. Accidents happen. 2 race cars cannot be in the same place. Or, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver. Because we are competing. We are competing to win. Ben's helmet choice unfortunately reflects what is certainly one of the most feared weapon helmet designs, usually paired with a weapon livery. If you see any of the following in your official race, you may want to consider starting from the pits instead. Any modern Formula 1 paint scheme on a Formula 4 car, any Red Bull livery, but in particular the white Red Bull livery, especially on cars that are not open wheelers, any F1 paint scheme on an Indy car, or the presence of a tobacco sponsor. I mean, really, who would dare race with such a dangerous livery? Oh, wait. I should have perhaps looked in the mirror. Fuel tanks were limited to around 20 laps of fuel for the 60-lap race, therefore preventing potential safety car lotteries, when if you hadn't passed pit road, you could pit under caution and be good on fuel before others had the chance to pit. Aiden went longer in fuel, which would be pivotal if the race stayed green.
Safety car deploying in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Safety car deployed. Yeah! Yahoo!
What caused the safety car? My chat asked. I had no idea, since wherever it happened, it wasn't near me. My post-race investigation found this is the cause. Which honestly is cool with me because I wanted this. With an opportunity for a free stop, me, Panju, and Supreme dove for the pits, but we would still need one more stop. I decided to top off for more fuel under yellow, knowing I would still keep my position and see no more cars head to pit. Tire changes were not viable as it took around 30 seconds to complete, which on a track with a sub 1 minute lap time is really a bad idea. The order remained the same in the restart, and the top 4 began to pull away. Sparks set it off in the final corner, which made it a 3-car pack. Ahead in P3 is Blueberry, and yes, I did my homework to ensure she didn't get the Matt 212 treatment, whom I called Matt 212 the other week. I took advantage of the side-by-side cars in the final corner to make 3 overtakes in the start-finish straight. I could post this on Twitter, but then I would have F1 Twitter tell me these weren't really overtakes, it was just through goes Hamilton. You know, the same kind of people that told me Alex Below couldn't even clean Santino Ferrucci's shoes. What's Below done lately anyway? Back at the front of the field, Kamikaze and Aiden continued to brawl, but would soon have to make their final pit stops as well. Adam Sanderson was one of the first to pit.
Adam, what happened, buddy? Just putting on fuel, mate. Should have boxed on the safety car, mate. They're still going to have to box again. Those that did on the safety car. Hang on, they're changing my tyres! No!
Sparks and Alex Gillen followed soon after. Unfortunately for Adam, his blunder cost him over 30 seconds in the pits, and he was now a lap down. I caught him at the worst possible place in the track into the chicane, and I lost a boatload of time. Aiden once again went the longest on his fuel strategy, well within the final 20 laps of the race to not have to fuel save. I inherited the lead and then pitted a few laps later with the same benefit of running flat to the floor. I rejoined the race in the same position prior to the safety car, P6 and tucked in behind Arrow on a close exchange at the pit ave. Behind me was Alex Gillen, but it was soon audible he would not be able to challenge us. Arrow then proceeded to perform a despicable maneuver.
Sorry, I know this is cringe.
Fun fact, this sneaking, which I used to troll someone in a video years ago and triggered a meltdown against me, caused someone else to demand I take down that video. Up the road, Sparks was very short on fuel and tried to save by any means necessary. Sparks unintentionally performed a textbook clutch kick, and I entered the top 5. Kamikaze and Aiden once more continued their duel. If you want a treatise from F1 Twitter on track limits, show them this clip.
No way 4 of us should sit that all in a row. I watched it all and it was glorious.
Sparks and Gillen had come to a shared realization.
I mean, Alex, mate, I'm cooked on fuel anyway.
Yeah, the same, really bad.
Oh, let's fuel save together then.
No save was necessary for Aiden, who crossed the line with a comfortable winning margin. Behind him, Blueberry and Kamikaze raced to the line, but it was Blueberry at the stripe as Kamikaze ran out of fuel at the very last moment. After I faded from the top 5, Supreme and Arrow raced to the line for 4th place.
No! Yeah! That was so close.
Alex and Sparks, despite running out of fuel, kept their respective positions on the track. After 4 championship rounds, these are the standings. Kamikaze is in 1st, followed by Aiden Pohl. Sparks is in 3rd. I myself remain in the top 4, ahead of Strasner, Aerotech, Alex Gillen, Supreme TV, Encephalosis, and Matt 212. The next race is the Ferrari Challenge car at the Long Beach Street Circuit, which unfortunately I will be gone this weekend into the next, and I will not have time for a proper review. Because this race may well very be a catastrophe in terms of accidents, here are some races in its place that you can watch instead. The entire Formula 3 weekend at Monza 2015, IndyCar at NOLA 2015, the pace lap of the 1996 US 500, the last lap of the 1979 Daytona 500, including the fight, IndyCar New Hampshire 2011, the 96 Monaco Grand Prix, the 98 Belgian Grand Prix,